Let's imagine an acorn that has fallen from an oak tree. This acorn has the potential within it to become a mighty oak tree itself. Given the appropriate conditions, it will automatically grow and accomplish this outcome. People, like the acorn, also seek to continually grow in positive ways. This idea of striving towards realization, fulfillment, autonomy, self-determination, and perfection is referred to as actualizing tendency. This idea is essential to the process of person-centered therapy. Person-centered therapy is a non-directive form of talk therapy with a positive view of human nature. This is also sometimes referred to as client-centered therapy. Person-centered therapy is based on the positive belief that the individual has the inherent capacity to move towards a state of positive mental health, much like the acorn has the inherent capacity to become an oak tree. What is the role of the counselor in person-centered therapy, and what does their relationship with the client look like? Before we discuss this further, let's remember that person-centered therapy is based on the idea that a person will create their own self-growth, given the appropriate circumstances. Think back to the acorn metaphor. Imagine a squirrel comes along and buries an acorn. The acorn is now buried in the nutrient-giving soil that it needs to grow into an oak tree. The counselor in person-centered therapy is much like this squirrel, providing a nurturing environment in which a person can reach their inherent potential. This means that the counselor does not control the therapeutic environment, interpret the client's behavior, or evaluate their decisions. Instead, they are there to provide a positive environment for their clients to experience the growth that they are capable of. In person-centered therapy, the focus is on the person, not the problem. The goal is for the client to achieve greater independence. This will allow the client to better cope with any current and future problems they may face. There are 4 basic goals a person will achieve in successful person-centered therapy. They will become open to experience, learn to trust themselves, develop an internal evaluation of themselves, and have a willingness to continue growing. The primary technique involved in person-centered therapy is reflection. Put simply, this is a restatement of what the client says. Reflection, when practiced properly, will show an understanding of the client's situation and display empathy. However, person-centered therapy does not rely on techniques or formal assessments. Instead, the quality of the therapeutic relationship is considered the most important factor. A counselor's ability to establish a strong connection with their client is the critical factor in the success of person-centered therapy. Remember the acorn metaphor? The client is the acorn and the counselor is the squirrel. The strong relationship between the counselor and client is the nutrient-rich soil where the squirrel buries the acorn. The counselor's relationship with the client nurtures their successful psychological growth, just like the soil nurtures the acorn until it becomes an oak tree. One of the main advantages of person-centered therapy is its cross-cultural applications. Person-centered therapy has had a global impact and has been adapted to fit many cultures around the world. Carl Rogers, the founding father of person-centered therapy, was even nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for his work promoting cross-cultural communication. One drawback of person-centered therapy is that many clients come to counseling seeking more structure than the person-centered approach provides. Also, a more directive approach may be necessary with certain clients. Person-centered therapy is a non-directive form of talk therapy with a positive view of human nature. It is based on the belief that a person has the inherent potential for positive self-growth. This idea of striving toward realization, fulfillment, autonomy, self-determination, and perfection is referred to as actualizing tendency. A counselor can nurture a client with a positive relationship, much like an acorn can be buried in nutrient-rich soil by a squirrel and become a mighty oak tree. In person-centered therapy, the focus is on the person, not the problem, and there are 4 basic goals a person will achieve if therapy is successful. They will become open to experience, learn to trust themselves, develop an internal evaluation of themselves, and have a willingness to continue growing. The primary technique involved in person-centered therapy is reflection. Put simply, this is a restatement of what the client says. However, person-centered therapy does not rely on techniques or formal assessments. The most important factor in person-centered therapy is considered to be the quality of the therapeutic relationship between the client and the counselor.